Go to school, get good grades, earn a degree, find a stable job, work hard for 40 years, retire. That was the dream, or at least that's what people were told. But today, an entire generation is starting to question that formula. And for the first time in modern history, millions of young people are walking away from traditional careers. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't want success, but because they see something older generations didn't. They see that the rules have changed, and they don't want to spend their lives playing a game that no longer works. This is why Gen Z is rejecting traditional careers, and the reasons might surprise you. Let's start with the biggest one. Gen Z grew up watching the internet change everything. They've seen teenagers become millionaires on YouTube. They've seen creators build businesses from their bedrooms. They've seen ordinary people earn more online than doctors, lawyers, and corporate executives. For the first time in history, success is no longer tied to a single path. Previous generations had limited options. You wanted financial security? You got a degree and found a job. That was the safest route. But Gen Z grew up with thousands of alternative paths right in front of them. Content creation, freelancing, e-commerce, software development, digital marketing, online businesses, remote work, investing. The internet showed them something powerful. You don't need permission anymore. And once people realize that, it's hard to go back. But that's only part of the story. The deeper reason is trust, or more specifically, a lack of trust. Many Gen Z workers watched their parents do everything right. They worked hard, stayed loyal to companies, followed the traditional path. Yet many still struggled financially. They watched layoffs happen. They watched companies replace workers. They watched inflation rise faster than salaries. And they started asking a difficult question. If hard work guarantees success, why are so many hardworking people struggling? That question changed everything. Because once trust disappears, people start searching for alternatives. Then there's the issue of freedom. Previous generations often prioritize stability. Gen Z prioritizes flexibility. They don't just want money, they want control over their time, control over where they work, control over how they live. The traditional office model often feels restrictive to them. Wake up, commute, sit at a desk, attend meetings, go home. Repeat. For many young workers, that lifestyle feels less like freedom and more like a system they never chose, especially when technology makes remote work possible. If work can be done from anywhere, why spend hours commuting every day? Why organize life around an office? These questions are becoming impossible to ignore. Another reason is education. For years, society promoted college as the ultimate investment. Go to college, get a degree, get a good job. But reality became more complicated. Student debt exploded. Tuition costs skyrocketed, and many graduates entered the workforce earning salaries that barely justified the cost of their education. As a result, many Gen Z individuals no longer see degrees as guaranteed tickets to success. Instead, they're focusing on skills that can generate income immediately, skills that can be learned online, skills that can be monetized globally. Because in today's world, a valuable skill can sometimes outperform a prestigious degree. And then there's social media. People often criticize social media, and sometimes for good reason. But it has also exposed young people to entirely different lifestyles. They see entrepreneurs working remotely from different countries. They see creators building audiences. They see people designing lives around freedom instead of tradition. Now, not everything online is real. A lot of it is exaggerated, but exposure changes expectations. Once people realize alternative lifestyles exist, they begin questioning old assumptions, and that's exactly what's happening. But here's where many people misunderstand Gen Z. They assume young people don't want to work. That's not true. In many cases, they simply want their work to mean something. They want ownership, purpose, autonomy, growth. They don't want to spend decades climbing a ladder only to realize they never wanted to be on that ladder in the first place. They aren't rejecting work, They're rejecting outdated definitions of success. Now, does that mean traditional careers are dead? Absolutely not. Doctors are still needed. Engineers are still needed. Accountants, lawyers, nurses, and countless other professions remain incredibly valuable. The problem isn't traditional careers themselves. The problem is believing they are the only path. Because today's economy rewards adaptability more than ever before. The people who thrive are often those willing to learn continuously, build new skills, embrace technology, and create opportunities instead of waiting for them. The truth is, Gen Z isn't rejecting success, they're redefining it. For previous generations, success often meant stability. For Gen Z, success increasingly means freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of location, freedom of choice. And whether you agree with that shift or not, it's already changing the future of work. The workplace is evolving, career paths are evolving, and the definition of success is evolving too. So perhaps the real question isn't, why is Gen Z rejecting traditional careers? Maybe the better question is, why are so many people still following a career path they never truly chose? Because in the end, the goal isn't to live the life society expects from you. The goal is to build a life that actually feels like your own.